Hey guys, Tailgate here from Ty's Torque Talk. Today we're looking at a 2025. This is the GMC Sierra 1500 and the AT4 trim. It's one of my personal favorite trim levels. I feel like it delivers a huge amount of value, and it's definitely one of the more popular trim levels among the whole GMC Sierra lineup. But today, I want to go over everything with you. We're going to talk about it all. Interior, exterior, take it on the road for a test drive, see how it performs out there. Let's get to it. All right, let's start this video off here, popping the hood and seeing what's powering the Sierra AT4. So here we have the 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. You can also get this vehicle equipped with the 3 liter Duramax diesel engine if you want to save a little bit when it comes to fuel economy. But power numbers here in the 6.2, we're looking at 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. Max tow capacity on the AT4 when properly equipped, you're looking at 13,000 pounds. 0 to 60 time in this, 5.4 seconds. Fuel economy with the 6.2 V8, you're looking 15 mpgs in the city and 19 on the highway. And then our overall vehicle weight is going to be 5,500 pounds. That's enough about the engine here. Let's talk a little bit about the exterior styling. Okay, we'll start talking here with the exterior design here on the front end of the truck. So right out the gates, big bold hood. You got these forward-facing lines here. That's kind of a sense of symmetry between a lot of the GMC products, especially with like the Yukon as well too. And you get these big arches over there on either side as well. But with the AT4 trim, it's one of my personal favorites personally, just because you get a lot of the dark accenting. Like when you work your way on down here, you get this gloss black strip here, darker color accented front grille, as opposed to say something like in the Denali, which by the way, I think it's a fantastic looking truck, but there's a lot more chrome on it. So I like these dark accents you're gonna get here on the AT4 trim. You get the red GMC logo, you get your forward facing camera. This also does have a spritzer on it. So when you use your windshield washer fluid, it's not only gonna wash off your windshield, but it'll actually spritz up this forward facing camera. And then with this group, you're gonna get the full 360-degree camera package. And then you get the AT4 logo down at the bottom left there. You get your red tow hooks, which are exclusive to the AT4 trim, your forward-facing park sensors. And they added this a couple years ago, and I absolutely love this little feature here. It's the engine block heater, and they mount it on the exterior of the vehicle rather than you having to fish cord through the grill or out through the hood, and it kind of looks a little bit sloppy, especially if it's sitting. I live in Canada, so my block heater cord sticks out through my hood through pretty much the entire winter. I never even really tuck it back in. But anyways, coming over on the side here, we have full LED lights, and I love the way that these headlights look. I think they're probably one of the best in the business right now in terms of full-size pickup trucks. I do prefer the ones on the heavy-duty truck line for the GMC Sierra. Same thing with the black backlights. I hope that they sort of adopt a similar look in the next couple of years here in the 1500s. But of course, you're gonna get the full LED daytime running lights, headlights, high beams, and fog lights down the bottom there. And you're even gonna get down here a functional air curtain pushing air on over top the wheel well there. Then on the side of the AT4, you're gonna get 20-inch aluminum rims. There are a couple different rim options that you can get straight from the factory. And you're gonna get a more aggressive off-roading tire. And then this is gonna have a 2-inch factory lift with the off-road tuned Rancho suspension. So if you want something that's gonna be a little bit more aggressive for off-road capability, you can go on up to the AT4X trim. That's gonna have a more aggressive tire, more aggressive off-road suspension. With the AT4 here, you're gonna get the kind of nice balance of very comfortable in-city driving, highway driving, but then still having that off-road capability if you so choose to. And here on the side of the Sierra, you're gonna get your 6.2 liter V8 badge right on the side of the fender there. And then you can also get this outfitted with the Duramax diesel engine. It's a 3 liter turbo diesel. You get the two options there in this AT4 trim and AT4X trim. And like I mentioned before, when we were talking about the front end, I love the dark accents that you're gonna find on the AT4 as opposed to a lot of chrome that you'll see on some of the other trims like the SLT or on the Denali. So on the AT4, you're gonna get the gloss black near caps. This is also gonna have your 360-degree cameras on the bottom there. And then around the side windows, instead of chrome, you're gonna get that gloss black work all the way across there as well too. But down here, this is gonna be outfitted with the full steel side steps, body mounted. You can also opt for a power deploying side step as well too. And there's a couple different configurations with this. With an AT4 trim, I really like these all metal ones because they can kind of double up as rock guards as well too on the trail, and they just look more aggressive, and I feel that kind of just really fits the AT4 name. Okay, and now for the back end of the Sierra AT4. There's a lot to talk about back here. The Sierra's got a lot going on the back end. It's a very luxurious truck, but it's also extremely functional, which makes it one of my favorite pickup trucks on the entire market. We'll start off here with the back lights. They are full LED. You get LED reverse lighting as well too with this. Like I mentioned when we were at the front of the truck, I hope that sometime in the near future they adopt a similar look to the heavy-duty Sierra truck line for the lights. I think they just look really, really sharp. These are no slouch by any means. They do look really good. I just love that heavy-duty line lights. But anyways, moving on over here, we got all full body color rear bumper here. You're also going to have your backup park sensors, all your trailering plugins for all your electrical, your hitch mount, all that stuff. And then you got your GMC logo, Sierra badging, and then the AT4 badge down at the bottom right. And then all the way down here, you got dual chrome tipped exhaust pipes that are in the shape of an HDMI outlet. Have a quick listen to the exhaust note when we start this thing up. Has a nice little rumble to it. Anyways, then over on the side here, you get these side steps, which are going to be exclusive to Sierras and Silverados. You won't see this on any other truck out in the market. It's a great side step. You have a little handle on up here as well too, but it's big enough to fit a work boot inside of it, and it's extremely functional, like I mentioned. So anyways, the main portion here of the back end of a Sierra is going to be this multi-pro tailgate. This is what everyone's crazy about. You got two buttons on here. You have the lower portion, or the lower button will open up the entire lift or tailgate. The top one is just going to lift up, drop down. I can't talk today. Drop down the top portion of it, and you can use this for a ton of different things. You can use it, you can drop it all the way down and use it as a step, which we'll get to in a minute. You can use this as a workbench. You can flip this up, use it as a bed extender. Flip this all the way down. Here's a bed extender. If you got 2x4s back here, you can use this as a stop there. And then if you click the top button when it's down in this lower position, you can flip that down and then use it as steps to climb on into the truck bed. And you can actually outfit this with a kicker audio system as well too for that ultimate tailgating experience. Then the top of this step here is going to be lined with kind of like a nice, almost like a skateboard grip tape, so there won't be any slipping when climbing on up into the bed. You're also going to get a body mounted grab handle here on the side of the truck bed, and then inside here you're going to get a couple cup holders on the tailgate, and then full spray-in bed liner. You're also going to get all LED lighting inside of this truck. There's multiple points in the box here, and then you're going to get spotlights here at the very top or the back of the cab. And also up there is going to be a bed camera, which I'll show you when we hop inside of this truck in a minute and go through all the different camera systems. Other than that, I think that's about enough for the back end here of the Sierra. Let's go hop on inside, see what this thing has to offer. We're here today filming this video at the one and only Okotoks GM just south of Calgary, Alberta. I'm actually part of a dealer group. We sell vehicles of every single make and model. If you live in Canada and have a loved one or yourself, if you're looking for a new or used vehicle, any make and model, reach out to me personally. My contact information is down below. I'd love to help you out. Anyways, without further ado, let's get back to the video. Now coming on into the Sierra 1500 AT4. This is going to be the jet black with Kalahari accent interior color. You get a lot inside of this truck. Like I mentioned when we were out by the tailgate, it is a very luxurious truck, but also extremely functional. So let's go over some of that stuff. So starting off the door panels here, right at the very top, we're gonna get all nice soft touch leather. You get some of the cheaper plastics over there on the sides and on the very bottom as expected. But you get very minimal gloss black here, just little strips, just enough to make it look nice and sharp, but not enough to collect a lot of dust and fingerprints. You have this nice ton of texturing here at the very top, your AT4 badging, and then you get the premium Bose audio sound system. The door bins in this are massive as well too. You get two cup holders down the bottom. You can also fit a ton of stuff in the bottom of there. But anyways, working our way on inside here, you get a nice fully leather wrapped dash. And I like the way that this they integrate the vents in here, because it kind of like smooths on or falls on down there, and it looks really, really slick. And then again, little bits of gloss black accents here on the sides of the vents, which normally I'm not a fan of, but it's not large amounts that cover a ton of surface area. They're gonna grab a lot of dust. Now you get 2 glove boxes in this. You get the top portion, and then moving on down, you get the nice lower portion glove box. It's nicely damped as well too. And then you get extra storage on the side of the center console that will be both on the driver and passenger hand side. To enter on in, you get this nice AT4 sill plate. Both the power and driver seats are going to be full power. You even get lumbar here on the passenger hand side. I love this Kalahari accents with jet and jet black seats are one of my favorite interior color options here for the Sierra trim. You're going to get the AT4 embroidered headrests there as well too in the front seat. You get a nice massive center console there. Is going to fit inside 24 baseballs is the Ties Tortalk unit of measurement. You also have this top tray that you could probably fit a couple more inside of as well too. You're also going to get a couple USB-C, USB-A's in there. You're going to get a wireless phone charging pad, and I like the way that they integrate that in here, because that way when you put your phone inside, it's not going to slide around a lot and make a lot of noise while you're driving. And moving on forward, you get your 2 cup holders there. You're also going to get your gear select right here. I like that they put it on down here. I like that they're not using dials and whatnot like some of the other truck lines out there. You also have your integrated trailer brake controller right there. And then moving on up, we have a whole bunch of buttons. For me, I love manual buttons. The one problem I have with these is that there is a lot of gloss black on this portion. It's not quite a type that's going to collect a lot of fingerprints, but it will get dusty soon. It looks really, really sharp though when it is nice and clean. You have the new stylish start and stop button right there. And then you get a whole bunch of a lot of safety feature related stuff. Your lane keep assist, your parking sensors, that pesky engine on and off button, this button to drop your tailgate, your hazard lights, traction control, and then hill descent control. And then above that, you're going to get all manual temperature buttons, climate control buttons, which I love. I hate when everything is only integrated into the screen. This is going to be a dual climate control, but you do have vents also in the back seat. For your front driver and passenger, you're going to get heated and ventilated seats, 3 stages for both. And then moving on up, we're going to have the new 13.4 infotainment screen here for these Sierras. I love the way that this looks. I like the way that it integrates in here with the dash. You got a little bit of a gloss black border on here. As long as you keep a little microfiber cloth in your vehicle and give that a wipe every now and then, it's going to look really, really sharp. But I love the way that they integrated this into the dash. I think it's one of the best looking. It's not the largest screen in the entire segment, but I do honestly believe that it actually is the best looking. And there is a ton of features that you have inside of here. I'm not going to go through absolutely everything because we'll be here all day long, but you get your audio there for your Bose sound system. You do get Google Maps built into this, and then also Google Assistant. I like on the main page here how you can have a split screen, have your maps over here, your audio. Sorry, it's in demo mode, so it takes a little while for some things to load. You get the clock at the very bottom there. But lots of very good usable information right on that main screen. With the Google Assistant, you can say, hey, you know who, and ask it to play certain songs, take you to certain, give you directions. Here are your cameras. Let me just close the side door here so it's not blacked out there. Very crisp, high quality cameras throughout this entire truck here. Each one of these buttons has 2 clicks on it, so you can actually do a forward and a rear facing view of all of these different cameras. There's your hitch one. If you go to the next page here, like I mentioned before, there is your truck bed camera. You can also zoom in on that as well too. That's really nice if you feel didn't strap something in properly, if you want to keep an eye on your trailer that you're towing, whatever it might be, you can actually keep these cameras running the entire time that you have the vehicle driving until you actually go to that top corner and turn it off. Where most manufacturers, they're just going to turn off once you exit parking lot speeds of 20 kilometers an hour, or you're driving for, say, more than 10 seconds. You're also going to get a full trailering page here, which is extremely user-friendly. It's really nice for beginner trailering people because you have a full checklist here with everything that you're going to need to do when you go trailering. You can also do your lighting tests and everything from there. A whole bunch of other stuff. You have your My GMC app. You can remote start your car from your phone, flashlights, all that stuff. You have the Wi-Fi hotspot. This does have a climate page as well too, if you so choose to use it on the screen. I just prefer the manual buttons myself. There's a whole lot to go through these screens. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to go through absolutely everything because we'll be here all day. And then working our way on up to the top here, we have the rear view mirror camera here. You can zoom it, you can tilt it up and down, you can change the brightness on it. And then at the very, very top, you have your OnStar buttons there. And then you have your sunroof controls. This is a button for the rear window. You can open and close that. This is the smaller sunroof inside of these guys. I would like to see sometime in the future that they bring a full-length panoramic sunroof, as all of the other competitors do have it in this segment. But anyways, let's go on over to the driver hand side and check out what it is offering behind the wheel. Okay, now we're here over at the driver hand side. We'll touch on the door really quick. I'm not going to go into much detail because we already talked about the passenger hand side. But you do get memory seating here for 2 people. Obviously, again, full power driver's seat with lumbar support. When you sit inside the driver's seat here, it does feel extremely premium, especially for a pickup truck. It's a very good looking steering wheel. You're going to get all leather wrapping, and then you're going to get those Kalahari accent stitching on the inside there. And then as for the steering wheel, you're going to go left hand side will be all your cruise control options. This top right button here is going to be the button for the gap adjustment for the adaptive cruise control. And then you're also going to get the heated steering wheel right below that. And over on the right hand side, it's going to be all the buttons for your media controls, and then also customizing your screen, which we'll get to in just a moment. This is the button to activate your Google Assistant. So looking at the screen here, let me just try to adjust my camera so you guys can properly see this. So it is extremely customizable. There's a lot of great information on here that you can scroll on through. Again, I'm not going to read off every single one to you guys because we'll be here for the entire day. But I like that this does actually have brake pad sensors. It tells you your tire air pressure and all the good information that you may need to know. If you go on over to the far right hand side here to the settings area, you can customize your screen layout. So you can go classic. This is progressive here. This is typically the fan favorite, I find. You also have a digital option, or at the very bottom, you can just go clean if you're very minimalistic. But we'll go on back to classic. And when we go back here, you can also customize the left and right hand side with a whole boatload of information. Again, I'm not going to go through every single one. Oops. There you go back. Right hand side info, and then you also have the lower gauges, all your units, speed warning sign, speed sign display, heads up display, customization, all that fun stuff. While we're talking about heads up display, it might be really difficult for you guys to see it right on up there, but you can get a lot of information on this. We have our pitch and roll angles up there with the speed as well too. And if you click the info button, you just get the speed, or you get your driver assistance page with your adaptive cruise control, or you can have navigation on there. All those buttons are controlled from right over here. The heads up display button is adjusts the height of it, the information, and then the brightness on the far right there. And then moving on down below that, you have your terrain select, or your drive mode select, sorry. So you can go in normal, which we're in right now. You can also do a sport mode, which will open up its active exhaust and give you a bit more of a rumble, or go into the off-road mode. We'll actually keep it in sport mode right now just for the sake of the test drive. Then you have your automatic 4-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low, 2-wheel drive. This is your bed lighting that I was talking about when we were back outside there. And then this is the lighting for the side mirrors and everything. Then you have your interior lighting and then your exterior lighting dial with your fog lights button on down there at the bottom. But that's about it here for the front seat. Let's go hop in the back and see what the Sierra AT4 has to offer. Okay, back seat here in the Sierra AT4. So door's a little bit more plain. You don't have that AT4 logo there. You do still get a nice leather armrest there. Your Bose speaker down there at the very bottom. And then working our way on inside, this does have the full all-weather floor mats, which is an optional equipment by the manufacturer you can get from the factory. Loving the seats. They still made them look extremely nice, just like the front seats there. You get that Kalahari accents, a little bit less bolstering on the sides as expected. What I love about these Sierras, is that they have these seat back pockets. You can also flip up the seats, get some extra storage on under there as well too. But I like the seat back pocket that's exclusive to the Sierra and Silverado. Also in the center here, you're gonna get a nice cushy armrest as well too with 2 cup holders. But tons and tons of room. The leg room in this truck is incredible. And you're also gonna get an almost completely flat floor, so your center seating passengers will have lots of room. Now when I sit back here, I am 6 feet tall. I have tons of headroom. I have this front seat here set up to exactly where I would be for my seating position. I can fully extend my legs all the way out. I have far more than enough knee room than I'll ever need. Then also here, you're gonna get your two vents here in the back, and then you're also gonna get heated seats for the rear seating passengers. This will also have a USB-C and a USB-A charging outlet. But enough of the back seat now. I say we go hop back into the driver's seat and take the Sierra out on the road. Okay, here we are driving the Sierra. We got it in sports mode. I'll start this off with a quick little 0 to 60 time here. Got it in sport mode, the automatic 4-wheel drive. Here we go. With that sport mode on and that active exhaust open, there's 100. With that active exhaust open wide, it has a really good, satisfying rumble. That's one thing I do really appreciate from GM, is the fact that they keep those full, naturally aspirated V8 motors on the market, right? You have the option between the 6.2 liter V8, and then you also have the 5.3 liter V8. And as I mentioned before, you do also have the diesel engine option, the 3 liter Duramax turbo diesel, which is a great engine option as well too. It has plenty of power, very good, very competitive torque numbers, obviously a little bit lower on the horsepower side, but the fuel economy in it is phenomenal. This engine here that I'm in right now, the 6.2 liter V8, this would be my personal engine of choice. If you like driving fast, zipping around town, whatever it might be, it's a really great motor for that. The power delivery is extremely impressive, and the sound feedback is what I'm all about. I'm glad that they don't have, like, you know, a twin turbo V6 or a hybrid engine and whatnot. It ruins the sound. And when I hop into a pickup truck, what I want to hear is the roar of a V8. And that's exactly what you get when you drive this 6.2 here. But I'll put it back on into normal here now. You hear the exhaust. It might be really hard to hear in the video here, but you do hear the exhaust quiet down a little bit. You especially notice it a lot when you're at an idle. But just for driving around town, it's an extremely comfortable vehicle. When you're up at highway speeds, I was actually rather surprised by this vehicle, the fact that it doesn't really get all that noisy with those more all-terrain leaning tires, the different suspension, all that sort of stuff. I was expecting a little bit more wheel noise, maybe a little bit more wind noise in the AT4 trim here, but like I mentioned before, the AT4 is a really nice blend of luxury feel and also off-road capability. It does have that rugged edge to it, but if you're just using this as an everyday truck and you're never going to even take it on so much as a gravel trail, you'll be extremely satisfied with it. The Rancho shocks are very nice and smooth for the in-city driving, but then, like I mentioned, they gives you the capability if you want to do more. Plus you have that 2-inch factory lift for a little bit of extra ground clearance. The AT4 trim is also going to, I forgot to mention when we were outside, also does come loaded with skid plates on the underbelly, protecting your transfer case, oil pan, and around that front lip area there. But overall, the AT4 trim, I'd have to say, pound for pound, dollar-wise, is probably my go-to favorite trim in the Sierra lineup. When you get up to, you know, Denali Ultimate, obviously those are very high price points. Same thing with the AT4X. That's going to come in around the same, kind of around the Denali Ultimate price point, and which does get up there quite a bit. The value, I would say, is there just because you get so much capability, and the functionality is just through the roof of that vehicle. But if you're just looking to save a buck and do some nice lighter trial riding, or if you want to throw some bigger tires on this AT4, I'd say that's a perfect truck for you. But anyways, I'll wrap up the test drive right here. We'll see you guys back outside. Okay, everybody, that about wraps it up here for the 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 AT4. Let me know down in the comments section what you guys think about this truck and how it stacks up against the competition. Are you buying the Sierra 1500 AT4 over the F-150 Tremor, the Ram 1500 Rebel, the Tundra TRD off-road? Really curious to hear where you guys' minds are at, especially after watching this review video. Anyways, thanks for watching the whole video. If you guys are a subscriber already, thanks for supporting the channel, liking all the videos. If you're not a subscriber already, make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe button, all the ones down below there, and stay tuned for the next ones coming.